Hey y'all, coming back with another video. I'm just leaving. Well, actually, I've kind of sort of been off of work for about like 45 minutes. I'm trying to get back home. I'm in Aberdeen right now, or down. I guess this is downtown Aberdeen. Which really, most of these little country ass towns here don't have really much going on for it. Unless you like the quiet and the I don't even know if you want to call it idyllic because it's really not that idyllic nor pastoral, which is pretty much the same thing. But if you like that kind of southern rustic charm, I guess this would be one of the places you can go. I'm not saying that I like the city, but I like places where there's at least, something to do. My daughters have said that too. They're like, there ain't really much to do out here. Then I'm like, yeah, I know. But anyway, enough about that. I wanted to come and talk about why is it that I already know with the rise of, I don't know if you want to call it the rise of it, even though it's been here for a while, red pill ideology and misogyny, and for unfortunately, the hatred towards black women, which is misogynoir. I just want to know, why is this shit seeping into mainstream media? Like, it has been for about 2 or 3 years now, but to the point where, like I said, it's infiltrating the news. I'm pretty sure if you have actually watched the news, where the Trump administration got their little filthy hands on CBS, and so now all of the people who are in CBS, including the CEO, are Trump ass kissers. Fox has always been around. I don't give a fuck what people say. I know Rupert Murdoch is getting a kickback from his empire, even though he claims to step down. But I mean, not just only them two. I mean, even the NBC and ABC, it's really getting bad. Even down to the fucking movies and music. I remember reading an article, talking about the RIAA, which, if I recall, from my radio class, I used to take radio and television classes back when I was in California, and I actually did an amateur DJ stint for the college I went to for a while. I learned everything from making, doing air checks to doing the news, the weather, hell, even trying to do emergency alerts, emergency I want to call it the emergency broadcast system, but I know it's not fucking called that. But I'm a child of the 80s, and that's what I remember it called. But now I think it's just the EAS, the emergency alert system. I had to perform one of those, a test, and when I tell you that irked my fucking nerves, because ever since I was a kid, I was always afraid of the noise coming from the emergency alert system. Like, oh fuck, we're gonna die! That's the first thing that would come to my mind. And especially if there's inclement weather, that'd be the first thing come to my mind. But I got to do that. I never want to do this shit again. Probably one of the reasons why I connected into radio. Plus, you don't get paid that much. The average DJ gets about the same amount of money if you fucking work at McDonald's or Subway. That's the part that they don't tell you. I mean, yeah, you may get to meet celebrities. Like, I know a couple of associates that I used to hang out with back in California has actually met certain celebrities because they were in the, the radio industry. But yeah, you don't get paid much. But anyway, not trying to get off on a tangent. Everything is being tainted by red pill and conservative ideology. And I hate when men, especially men that you would think that they have some education behind them, but they still they still absorb the shit. And what I mean by this is I'm talking about my father. So, as you know, if you have watched prior videos of mine, I talk ubiquitously about, my youngest daughter graduating. Keep in mind, she's fucking only 18 years old. My eldest is 19. She's already in college. And for the last fucking 6 months, he has been on this kick of wanting my daughters, who don't even fucking work at all, let alone part-time, don't even know how to do the taxes, don't even know how to fucking, well, actually, they do know how to find the sales tax and hide them, but like actually prepare taxes. They don't work, at least not yet. They don't even know, how to survive on their own, and you're fucking talking about trying to get the shack up with some man. I don't understand this shit. And I've told him about this dumbass shit I don't know how many times. And of course he doesn't listen, but then gets mad when I fucking check him, whether it's private or public, because I'm not going to sit up there and stand for this shit. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're listening to, and I don't care, but that shit, that you keep that shit in your house. You're not going to sit up there and bring it into my house. And sometimes, because like I said, I work my hours are from 9 to 6, like I've mentioned in prior videos. Sometimes if it's not my aunt's, he'll come and he'll pick up my youngest to take, to drop her off at home from school. And he will go on these retarded ass red pillish rants of talking about, well, you need to find somebody. You need to settle because you got too high of standards and you're gonna be alone. What the fuck? Who the fuck are you listening to? Kid Nails? Oh, by the way, that's right. He died today. Woohoo! I know most black women are celebrating. I seen one lady on TikTok talking about how she was going to get plastered and eat tacos. I said, I hope you end up exercising after them tacos, man. Because Mexican food is fat city, but it's good. I used to take culinary class, and my old culinary teacher used to say, fat makes everything taste good. Yeah, it makes everything taste good, but it also can harm you. But nonetheless, it's like, shut your ass up. The fuck is wrong with you? Why are you trying to talk this bullshit rhetoric to my daughters who basically are just starting out in life? That's annoying. I called him out I called him out I don't know how many times on this shit. And like I said, I don't care. I've always been known to be the black sheep in the family. And I've always been known to be the quote-unquote fucking rebel rouser. But I'm tired of this. And my mother, which I told you before in prior videos, she's a fucking pick-me. So she'll call me and tell me, well, Allie, I don't like, he didn't like you talking to him like that, and who do you think you are, and this, that, and the other. Bitch, I'm grown. I'm not a child. What are you gonna do? Whip me? So it's like, no, you're not gonna sit up there and poison my daughter's minds with this garbage, this filth that you're doing. And I'm like, you have a fucking master's degree, sir. You graduated from an HBCU out here, which is A&T. I would think somebody of your caliber and your education would have better fucking sense. But no. And this is what I mean. It's seeping, it's spreading like a virus. And I've noticed this change. Well, I want to say it this way. It's sort of have been underlying, okay? But now it seems like since the media has been captured by this shit, it seems like even the ones that would have common sense and book sense would know better don't seem to know better. And let's face it, father doesn't always know best. And it's just very obnoxious, and I've noticed that. And like I said, I've complained about it, and I told him, listen, if you can't shut up about this shit, then I don't want you picking up my daughter from school. I'll just get my aunts to do it most of the time, and I'll just pay them, because, which I'm already doing anyway. But fucking he volunteered, and I was like, okay. But now my youngest comes and tells me this shit, and I'm just like, oh. Another example. This black boy who keeps consistently hounding her, and there's a white boy who does it too. And my youngest is not interested in dating. They don't want to date. Not that they're scared of it. They don't care about dating. And I don't feel like pushing it, because why? Again, I'm going to say gas prices are up. Okay? Living expenses are fucking hellish. Food expenses are fucking hellish. Everything is going up, and wages are stagnant. So why are you trying to shack them up with the man? And there's studies that prove that if you marry young, you're going to divorce. Why are you trying to set them up for that? And it really irks me, because in the black community, y'all talk about not wanting wanting women to be single mothers. Y'all act like single mothers are the fucking pariah in the black community. But here you are sitting up there telling young girls to get married at a young age, when both of their frontal cortexes are not, their frontal lobe is not fucking developed yet, and they're going to just end up divorced and end up a single mother. Are you out of your damn mind? And I cannot. And I would just think you would have had better sense. But I'm starting to feel that any male can be touched by this, no matter how smart, no matter how articulate, no matter how well-mannered. I believe all of them are into that. All of them are going to show their fucking ugly heads dripping in misogynoir. I really feel that way. And then there's other times where he'll sit up there and talk about my daughter's outfits. They do not dress in skimpy clothes. They never have. And that's just because they're not interested in it. But my youngest, both of them actually like the anime-ish type of style of dress. And that would include skirts. They're not short. They come to the knee. And you don't see their hoo-ha or their derriere when they bend over or sit down. And he would make comments about the way they dress. Especially since he's always had an issue with the girls being interested in that type of dress and that type of style, and also interested in anime, which he hates. He doesn't believe that black people should be into anime or manga. And we've had arguments about that too. But one time he complained about one of her outfits, and she came back annoyed as hell, and rightfully so. And I called him and I told him, I said, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, well, Ellie, that's not appropriate for her to wear. Why is it not appropriate for her to wear? Because it's a Japanese style? I said, Negro, when you go out on Saturdays, with your pot belly sticking out of your shirt, looking like you fucking about to give birth to sextuplets. That's not appropriate either. When you come, okay, when I have to come and pick you up, if your vehicle breaks down from the dealership or something like fucking Pet Boys or something, and you come, and I see you with knockoff raggedy Crocs and bleach stained sweats, that is not appropriate. At least with me, I try no matter what, even in my work clothes, I try to always make sure my hair and my makeup is done. You know, I'm clean. I make sure I have my, my jewelry, and I don't wear dingly jewelry. I usually wear very, like, studs, conservative stud-like earrings, and then I'll have my rings, and that's it. I don't wear any other jewelry. And I try to make sure everywhere I go, even if it's casual, I look nice, and I smell nice. But I don't appreciate you coming after my daughters, I don't appreciate you coming after my daughters, and you looking like a walrus, a sea lion, with fucking bleach stained clothes on. And if you haven't figured it out by now, yes, my father is extremely overweight. And that's another thing I don't like about him. He wants to always talk about somebody's weight. And I'm like, how are you going to talk about somebody's weight? Sir, you got the back of a fucking school bus. So, I really need for the mainstream media to kill this noise, because it's seeping in to, like I said, the most, apparently, you would think, the most level-headed, common sense men, but no. And it needs to stop. So, I just wanted to bring that up. Because if it gets to the point where if he doesn't want to listen nor respect my wishes, then what the fuck are we even involved with the family for? Because he already knows how I feel about his wife, which is my mother, about her mammyism. You think I want to put up with this shit? Oh, no. Absolutely not. And every time you say something, I'm going to call you out on it. Because I'm not going to let you sit up there and antagonize my daughters like this. But that's all I want to mention. Again, like my last video, I like to hear from y'all in the comment section, preferably from women. Do you have male family members who are like this? I'm pretty sure you probably try to find a way to distance from them if you can. Do you check them? Do you, like I said, do you just avoid them? I'd love to know. Because for me, I try to avoid them as much as possible. But again, sometimes if my aunt cannot pick up my youngest from school, or my oldest from college, because she don't have a car right now, we're working on both of them getting their license, because when they were teenagers, their rules, what the hell? The light is green and we ain't moving. Anyway, North Carolina has fucked up rules when it comes down to teenagers driving. There's like they have to have like a certain log. I don't care, I'm taking this shit. They have a certain log. They have to record hours of driving for morning and night. And then what else? They're only allowed, state law says that they're only fucking allowed when they're in school, if they're under the age of 18, that they must take a driving course. You cannot teach them how to drive. And then it's like with the school that they were my youngest and my eldest used to go to, they have a $65 non-refundable fee to get them in driving school, and it's first comes, first served. And even when but see, that's the thing, even when if it's first comes, first served, which happened to me twice, you know, in each year, you know, last year and the following year, they ended up getting a letter saying they didn't get in. And when you call the county was like, oh, well, we don't see you, so you didn't get in. I'm like, but I paid for it. I know there's a record of that. There's always something, and there's always some bullshit going on. So we had to wait until they turn 18 to work on that and work on their driving. Now, my eldest has her permit already, and she sometimes drives me to the store if I don't feel well, if I'm too tired, coming from home from work. She'll drive. Something smells out here. Ugh. Sorry, I apologize. It smells like ass out here. I think they're doing some type of. I guess the farmers are doing something with the fertilizer. Anyway, but when I'm tired, she'll drive me to the store if we need something. She'll drive, you know, certain places with me in the car. But, you know, my youngest one does not. But she's been studying the book. So that's basically it, though. I'm just sitting there rambling. It's already a 22-minute long-ass video. But like I said, I want to hear from y'all in the comments on what do you do with the males in your family that been red pillified or borderline red pillified. Because like I said, with my father, I tried to stay away from him. I tried to keep conversation with him very, very short. But if you attack my kids, I've always been the type of person, you fucking attack my kids, I'm going to attack you. So, and I think that's what every mother is like that. But that's all I want to know. I'll talk to y'all in the next video.